Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Bad Calls, Balls, and Brawls. Your host, 305 Sports Beat, co-host Miami Lou. He's literally dripping, not from sweat.
Inside.
I promise you, he did not just work out. It is not the end of the world. He did not just start 2023.
What's a workout? What is that?
I know, like he's drenched. I'm never.
Look, obviously, if you're living in South Florida, you've been living in like lake streets and nonstop rain because it's been raining for like 5 days straight.
It has been terrible. So before we even get into anything, like, first of all, what you see on the news for people who are not in South Florida is exactly what's happening here. It has been raining in South Florida since Monday. Sunday it started raining in North Florida. That's what we were at Sunday.
Right, yeah.
But Monday it started coming here, and Monday was terrible. Like when I went to work, I'm like, Lou, like it's major. So it's just been nonstop for 4 days. Go ahead.
No, it's the top story on the news. It's like they're calling it like a once in a generational rain event, not necessarily winds. It's not a storm.
No,
obviously we've had
way more thunder and lightning here and there. Like it's not thunderstorms. It's just rain and wind.
Exactly. So this is like unprecedented. Like even with all the storms, hurricanes, we've had tornadoes.
Yeah.
Nothing like this amount of water being poured on, and nuts. Then every newscast, it looks like it's the first 15 minutes dedicated to just cars being stuck on the road,
flooding in houses,
flooding in homes,
people stranded,
people without power.
And this is our neighbor. He's here.
Yeah. I
mean, Michael, my favorite mermaid. How are you guys surviving down there? Now he's more in West Palm Beach County, so you guys aren't getting it as bad, but you're still getting smacked up there. He's more like Lake Worth area. Sandy, oh my goodness. That's Miss Cruz thing.
Yes.
Sandy, we have a special guest on the show today who's actually on that cruise, and we were talking about you before, so I'm excited to hear what you and him have to say. Paul, our buddy in I got to say this right because he just started his own fan club, Northwest Central Florida.
Okay.
So he started his own club out there. They have a show. So hello. Hope you're staying dry.
All right. We want to come out and visit you.
Papa Paul is ready for things to get going. He has his birthday coming up and a draft party. Sandy, Monday almost got delayed from going home. Friends had 2-hour delays. Russ in the house. Hi. Number 1, hi. Can't stay. Number 2, can't stay. Number 3, I'm hanging out with my brother. 4, I'm sad I can't enjoy the show.
Enjoy the time with your bro.
And we got 2 games from the Phillies. Just kidding. You destroyed Sandy Alcantara. Let's not talk about that. But back to the weather, guys. Everything. So good to see everybody in the chat tonight. Got a full house. But no, it's really, really bad. Obviously, where we live in Miami Beach, we flood just generally. Fort Lauderdale and Broward County is getting it worse. They're completely underwater. They shut the schools down today, the courthouses. It's terrible. And
the airport's closed still.
Mm-hmm. And that's the crazy part.
The airport's going to be closed through tomorrow. And it's a surreal scene. I mean, people they don't want to risk, obviously, getting down the street in their cars and having them be stalled. I mean, that's all you see.
Yeah.
So there are people so borrowing kayaks and canoes. Yeah. And that's how they're getting to their home or going out to get groceries because there's no way they get in or out of their driveways. Yeah. It's insane.
And I was saying this to our guests before I put them on the show. This is different than a hurricane because first of all, when we get a hurricane, we have they're saying, hey, this hurricane's gonna hit you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 days. Like we have preparation time.
Right.
This pretty much came out of clear blue, this system. So no one had sandbags. That would have helped a little bit. No one had sandbags. Second of all, this is 5 straight days of rain. A hurricane lasts a few hours and then it's gone. This is just nonstop. So for those of you guys in South Florida, stay safe. This should be the last of it. They're saying it should clear up after tonight, but the damage is done. We're underwater and it's nightmarish. So crazy. And Graham from the UK, I sure hope it's a lot drier out there. As you guys know, we are an international show because of many things, but number 1, because of Graham, his weekly viewed in the UK. Graham, this is like some British rain and weather. If this is how England is, I never even want to step foot because I can't handle 5 days rain.
It does rain a lot there. I mean, I'm sure Graham could attest to it. But definitely. Listen, before you bring on your guest, I did promise. You mentioned that we were.
What is he doing? You never know with this guy. You never know what he's up to.
You mentioned that we were up north visiting your parents, and they did give me this awesome present for Easter.
We had
a bunch.
Yeah.
But so I promised your parents.
But I get him stuff all the time, and he doesn't. He tells me to bring it back.
I was looking at this, and it is a Miami Dolphins. Can you pull this back a little bit? It's a Miami Dolphins totem pole. How awesome is this? Kind of like a Tua. Design here with the Hawaiian.
Like you. I can see it in your face.
The Hawaiian theme. So this will be prominently displayed somewhere in this house, and we will use it for rituals, I guess.
What kind of rituals?
Well, hopefully the Dolphins don't need us to to conjure up some victories. This is what we're going to use it for. So thank you to your parents.
We need to send.
Awesome.
We need to use it as a rain mechanism and send
Yes.
some of that weather
Rain,
to.
Well, I had it in the box.
So Papa Paul, because Papa Paul needs some rain up there.
It's probably my fault. I had it in the box. I got to take it out, and
all right, we'll leave it outside so the rain will stop. Okay.
All right.
Mark, if I have to say, if we have a favorite Bills fan in the house, we also have a AFC following. Mark, our favorite Bills fan. I'm going to say that he's gotten that.
So.
Graham, we got a lot of rain, just not much. Quickly, hope you and everyone's safe. It's nightmarish.
Okay. So update with Mark. He's in the house right now.
Yeah.
Mark, we finalized the deal. I think we're good to go. Mark will be, it looks like, reporting live from the draft, which is in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Mark is going. He's attending all 4 days, and we're going to send him some kind of an adapter or something to get his battery on his phone going.
Is him a Dolphin jersey so he's not wearing Bill stuff
No,
on the show?
we're not going to make him do that.
I don't want Bill stuff on the show.
No, he's a Bills fan.
We'll
get a neutral sports coat or something you can wear. We'll put your logo on it, and we're good to go. But Mark's going to be broadcasting live for us in one of the days of the draft. So that's awesome.
Michael said, bring it to the tailgates.
We will. Absolutely.
I'm going to bring it to the next game because it's not fair that you guys are automatically. It's coming, guys. You already know the rant's coming. I'm going to save it till after my guest comes on because, this is Dolphins.
Well, let's get to it. We held it up and up.
I know. He doesn't care. He's from up north. He knows snow and rain. So without further ado, Jason Sarney, what is going on?
Jason, thank you.
Hey, guys. You guys are hilarious. I can watch you guys all night.
Oh, well, try doing this for 3 years at this point. You got to laugh about some things.
Yes.
So Jason is, first of all, a great friend of mine. Jason covers the Dolphins, through podcasts, and also he writes for the Dolphins. But he's not even Miami. He's up north, which is so special because so many of our fans don't live here. We're like the anomaly. Yeah. So thank you for holding it down up back home in Northeast New Jersey, New York, PA area, and we're excited to have you tonight.
Kind of an enemy territory there with the Jets, right? Close by, so.
It's great to be here. I appreciate both of you for having me. Yeah, I'm like a glutton for punishment. Grew up in Long Island, went to school in Buffalo. Guy I was friends with and went to high school with, even was a practice squad Super Bowl winner with the New England Patriots during the Carolina Panthers Super Bowl year. So, yeah, I find reasons for everyone to just love the fact or hate the fact that I'm a Dolphin fan.
People love you too. Like I can be on the show. They don't say, "Hey Ash, good evening," this and that. Only Graham says that. Everyone's like, "Sarney, Jason." So
got a cult following of
I know, gosh, how about that?
And Jason, for those of you who don't know, explain. You are up there in the Northeast. Explain to the folks out there in the chat and listening live or catching this later how you came to be a Dolphins fan.
Well, I love the question. I love telling it. I'll give you the abridged Cliff Notes version. I moved to Long Island when I was like 9 years old, and I really had no idea what football was. I grew up in Queens, a lot of hard top stuff, a little playing on the blacktop basketball.
He don't know Queens. He only knows it from coming to America St. John's, and so he's an honorary Giant.
I was a good half a mile away from McDonald's, pretty much.
Oh, right.
But that's basically where I spent the first couple of years of my life. And then parents were teachers and finally got out there, and everyone loved football. Giant jerseys, Jet jerseys, Montana jerseys. But one of the first social events that I had was like a 10-year-old birthday party where it was like a football-themed party. And I was freaking out because I had no idea what line of scrimmage was. There's 4 downs. What does that mean? So I went to it was 1990, by the way. So I went to the old Encyclopedia Britannica, learned what football was, sent me to the Q section. And then you learned what the position of quarterback was. And there was a picture of Marino and Montana from the 84 season, 85 Super Bowl.
Yes, stop it.
The jersey that I randomly had in wrapping from a Florida relative was a meshy, disgusting, but 13 Dolphin jersey. It wasn't official. It wasn't a good jersey, but it was a Marino jersey. Threw it on. Why are you a Dolphin fan? Marino. And then there it was. And then that's it. Moment after moment after moment. And knew I couldn't play football really early. So, but I knew I wanted to cover it.
Nice. And was that a white or was it a white or an aqua Marino jersey?
It was like an aqua, but it wasn't like aqua. It was like teal green, but it was like definitely, it was from like Modell's before Modell's. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was like a department store jersey, but it was 13 and it was Dolphin enough.
So Dan pretty much did it for you, like you did it for every woman, man, everybody else.
Absolutely.
It's so, yeah,
1,000%.
You too.
it's so amazing. Everybody we speak to, we ask them that question, and 99% of them say that Dan Marino was what made me.
Minus me though. I don't think I ever told you this real brief story again. I moved down here in like 2007, 2008, and I was never like really into football. I was a huge Nets fan. I think we spoke about that before. I know Michael's gonna love to hear that one. But it was Anthony Fasano.
Jersey boy.
Italian Jersey, and he reminded me of home because I was new down here. I didn't know anybody, being from Jersey, being Italian, and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is like me. So it was him who actually. It wasn't a Dan Marino. It wasn't a Jason Taylor. It wasn't a Zach Thomas. It was Anthony Fasano who actually made me a Dolphins fan. So
I love that. And that was, he's had some of the greatest games in terms of the Ronnie Brown Wildcat game.
Yep.
He was huge in that 2008, title game against Brett Favre when we had Chad Pennington. So Fasano in Jersey, Fasano's our guy.
Yes,
and he's a fan favorite. He was actually on the fish tank with Seth and OJ a couple of weeks back, or maybe a month or so back. He's just a great interview. He's a lot of fun. A guy you want to just hang out with, and just like he seems like he definitely would hang and give great stories on his career.
Really. So, but most recently we hung out for the Dolphins Cancer Challenge. That was a lot of fun. We did the 5K. We finished that. So, virtual high five to you. Psh.
Where's your medal hanging? Where is it? Oh, there it is. I see
Where's
it.
your medal hanging? Oh, wait, that's right. You were on the sideline.
He's getting it. There it is. Nice. Show everybody that medal.
Show us that it never happened.
Nice.
Oh, your sound out. Your sound went out. That's a Zoom rookie mistake.
I'm okay. Fumble. Recovery. We're okay.
Recovered.
Love this thing.
Very cool.
Lou doesn't have one because, as you remember, he was cheering us on the sideline.
It was my first time going. So I wanted to just sit from the peanut gallery and observe, and I'll do it next year.
You did great. You were excellent at what you were there for. You took pictures, you hydrated us. It was great.
Exactly. I served my purpose.
Papa Paul was also there. And so was Michael. Papa, I'm an old school fan, been since 1976, a year before you were born.
That's right.
You've been there. Michael said, he goes, you finished way faster than we did, Ash. I was on a mission. Let me tell you, I was like 3 weeks out of my frostbite. I said, I'm going to do this. No, I'm telling you, next year I'm going to even beat my time.
Michael didn't even plan to do it. Michael was in jeans and
he
wasn't ready. And he said, I guess I'll do it. And he just joined in last minute. So it was awesome.
I don't know nothing. I don't know anything.
No, why are you snitching on like that? Oh my God. So we saw you there, and then you went home, and then we knew about this cruise coming up, but it was just too hard for Lou and I to with our work schedule to make it, unfortunately. But seeing all your pictures, let's talk about FOMO. You know what FOMO is?
Yes.
Fear of missing out. I was literally, it's like one of those things where it's like, dang, I should have went. Between your pictures, Allie's pictures, and Sandy's pictures, I was like, man, oh man, we missed out. So we got to know, tell us everything. I know originally the date was supposed to be a certain date, then they changed it. Start from the beginning. You went down with your wife and your 2 sons. The floor is yours.
It was an awesome time. I mean, look, it started, it's very metaphorical to being actually on the water. It started off a little rocky. There were some waves, there was some waves. And, but then, really a testament to the fans for, because we're a bunch on social media. We're a bunch on tailgates at the games that we love our fans. We love our team. We love getting into it. But that's only half of the battle. Another half of the battle, I just held up a medal about the Dolphins Cancer Challenge. Yeah. Everybody who loves the Dolphins loves the fact that the patriarch of this organization, Don Shula, created philanthropy in sports. I'm not even kidding. And he literally created the philanthropic aspect, and that's where we are as fans. So as rowdy, as argumentative as we could be online on tailgates, we're a classy bunch when it comes to things like this, and we rolled with a lot of punches. None of them coming from these colors. It came from third parties. It came from, things that you would find on cruise ships or on travel situations that are just, they happen. What the Dolphins did was exactly what I did when I messed up with the sound. They picked up their fumble. It wasn't their fumble, but they picked up the slack in a way that they necessarily didn't have to. But every one of those 35, and actually I think it was 36 technically, they just gave us an experience. And at the end of the day, if there were a couple of different entities, the Dolphin entity, the players were phenomenal.
So Michael said, I was shocked that Joe Rose had such a great time with the fans.
I think he's kidding on that.
Oh, God. Joe is one of the best.
Yeah.
Joe is one of the best.
And listen, he works all the time. He's got the morning radio gig. Obviously, he's the voice of one of the voices of the Dolphins. And he took the whole week off. People, had to substitute for him on the radio.
He didn't take the week off the microphone because he was emceeing the whole lot. And he was phenomenal. I mean, just hearing Joe, watching him work through him. He was actually like running the Bon Voyage party mic, right? Oh, wow. So he was introducing people after Nat Moore said his words. And tell you a funny story here. I'm not going to go crazy with the stories.
It happened on the boat, stays on the boat. I get it. But I figured I'd get the most out of you.
A lot of things are vaulted. But, I mean, look, Joe is a guy that we all know what kind of guy Joe is. We probably could have imagined Sunday night after a week. We probably could have jumped into the 80s and see what Joe would have been up to after a victory, what have you. So it was a phenomenal night. Let's say Friday night, I think it was. So Saturday was a tough morning for a couple of people, yours truly. And I'm up in the buffet getting an early morning coffee like I usually love to do. And I see Mr. Rose right in front of me about to get some coffee. And I won't say anything on how exactly his night went, but I leaned over and I said, Joe. So I said, sir, I didn't call him Joe. I said, sir, that's decaf. And he very quickly moved over and said, wrong handle for me. Thank you. And then there you go.
I can see him saying it just like that.
Joe's awesome. He's the type of guy that, you've never been on a cruise. You're about to go on one, but he would be like the perfect cruise director, right? The guy just running the show and just telling the jokes, hanging out with everybody, telling them what's going on next. Joe, if he didn't have an NFL career and this gig that he has now, he'd make a heck of a cruise director. I'll tell you that.
When we met Joe two training summers ago, Lou and I take pictures with people. So we went to give somebody the camera, take a picture, and Joe said, no, I don't want to take a picture. You, just her. So that's Joe. Let's see. Sandy said, Joe Rose was amazing. Went to my friend's wedding on the ship. Michael said, I told Sarnia, I bet these guys would be like, I've had enough with the fans, but he was effortless.
Effervescent.
I can't say that word.
Even I know that word.
Graham said 84 is when I got into the NFL. Graham is our friend from the UK. And during the brief highlights we used to get over here back then, and Marino had that year. So I was a Dolphin from that moment since 84.
Yeah. And speaking of Joe Rose, he was the one that launched Marino's career. He caught Marino's first touchdown on Monday Night Football against the Raiders. I had
asked Joe, one of the biggest mysteries of my life that I need solved. Where's the ball, Joe? Because if you look at that, he doesn't know. He claims if you look at the highlight, and look, it was the first touchdown that Marino threw. So they all knew that he was going to be really, really special. But to not have the foresight to hold the ball and to run it on over to him, Joe tossed it over his shoulder like it was a bomb. It's gone. I have no idea where it is. He doesn't know. Someone's got it.
Right.
And we need to solve it.
We may or may not know. Just kidding. We don't have it.
So Ash did have OJ McDuffie on the show, and OJ was a big go-to target for Marino. And she asked him, "Hey, did you ever get nervous about throwing a ball in the stands or giving it to a fan when you know that it could mean something?" And sure enough, OJ said that whenever Marino's milestones were in play, Marino would let him know, "Hey, if you ever scores this, don't give that ball away. It's number 350 or 375 or so." Pretty awesome.
OJ told a phenomenal story. OJ was wow. I mean, I can't even go into detail OJ probably slept, I would say, an average of never. Oh. I mean, he was just all over the place, chilling, hanging out, being one of us, the fans, because OJ will tell you, after his playing days, he got season tickets right in the end zone. He loves this team. So a fan asked him a question about just that and told a phenomenal story about, and I know you guys will remember this, it was when Marino hit his 400th. And that was a special game for me up north because I got it. It was on TV. I didn't have to go anywhere. It was in the living room, you know? And McDuffie was my guy, was my favorite wide receiver. And not one, not two, but 3 touchdowns that game. And OJ detailed to all of us where each of those balls went. And the 400 went to Dan, 399 went to his aunt, and 401 went to his mother. And it was one of the most amazing stories that I've heard. Did he record it? I asked if I could tweet it. He, of course, gave the nod.
Yes.
So that's another reason why I could happily tell that story here.
Nice.
Go ahead,
So let's get into the program on the ship. Obviously, it's a 7-day cruise.
MSC Seascape.
Right, MSC Seascape. What were the ports of call again?
Ports of call were pretty cool. The first day was Ocean Cay,
Bahamas.
Ocean Cay.
I know where you went.
Private island. Dolphins were there. Really fun kind of contest and just nice, relaxing, real hot. So it was a quick hit, go back to the boat. Next day was Nassau in the Bahamas, same idea. 2 days later was San Juan, Puerto Rico, which was stunning, my favorite place. I think that I've ever been to, frankly.
Wow.
And then Puerto Playa in the Dominican Republic, and then I'm home.
Nice. And the weather complied. The weather was good all the way around. And
for the most part, absolutely.
Fantastic. And so exactly when you get on and in between the ports of call, what was the program with, getting the fans and the players together and the mingling? I'm imagining if I was on there, I'm trying to get my hot tub moment.
You would fangirl
my hot
everything.
tub moment with
so
Dan Marino. Get some bubblies with Marino.
Ew, gross.
Well, it was really funny because again going back to I guess the other entity, kind of ran a little like 2007. If you want to catch my dolphin drift, and then relative to football, the next year, 2008, was a miraculous change with the Wildcat, right?
Yeah.
Let's use that kind of metaphor, right? So while no one knew what the heck was maybe going on, you run into Kim Camper a couple of days later, take a selfie, ask for an autograph. He literally said, do that. Number of players hanging out at the sports bar, just talking with us. So while things were really weird, first couple of nights, players made good. And then about, I would say Tuesday, Wednesday, players were still rocking and rolling with us, really enjoying. Then things started to get a little bit more structured. There was a basketball shooting contest. We're not going to talk about my performance. There was a cornhole tournament. There was some autograph sessions that were kind of staggered and then combined. And then that goes back to what Kim Camper announced at an X's and O's session, which was really fantastic. OJ, Mark Duper, and Kim Camper were up there fielding questions. And then Kim at the end just said, hey, guys, whatever happened, it happened. We're here. We want to have a great time. If you see us, ask us for a picture. Ask us for a selfie. 4 days later, on the last day, I had an opportunity to run into Kim. I literally said, I'm going to take you up on it. And he was like ready to roll. He was like, selfie ready to go. Had a conversation or two. So 8+++ on them calling the audible touchdown.
Danny in the chat. Danny's one of covers the Marlins. Had him on the show last year. So we will see you there hopefully Saturday. Yep. It would have been tomorrow. We would have been heading to Marlins Italian night, but some team didn't want to win.
We'll get into that later.
We have a question in the chat for you. Sarni, how about Juice getting your kids up in front for that picture? Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
That was an awesome highlight. It was the first night. Marino was there, a couple of days. The scheduling was whatever it was. No fault for really anyone on this, But the first night, there was a huge introduction of all the Dolphins. All of the fans were there. There weren't a ton of young ones there.
I figured.
The Goodmans were there. Their kids were there. But I don't think we were in the same session, right? There were like 2 sessions breaking up the fans with all this. So my kids were probably one of 4 or 5 kids in that room. But I guess the way they were structured, I don't know motives. I don't know plans, but it was just right. They were there in the corner of the group picture. And then OJ kind of grabbed both of them, put them right in front of Dan Marino.
Oh, my God.
My little guy Jordan was wearing, he's 7 years old. He was wearing a little Admiral hat, right?
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, Marino like shakes the Admiral hat. And then Marino gave a thumbs up to Juice, like almost like, all right, cool. They're in front. Nice. And then just looked over to my wife and I and did that. So that was an early moment, but I think that was one of the moments.
Oh my gosh. Sandy, I don't know who she's referring to, but she said he leaned over and laid a big kiss on my cheek.
I think he's talking about
Sandy. If anyone deserves that, that's Sandy. I ran into Sandy a couple of times, and it was an early indication that things were like a little rocky. I saw Sandy at a couple of she was I felt really bad. I knew that there was something going down. I had an opportunity to speak to Sandy. I think her sister, a couple of other people in her party. Yeah. And I just, I'm glad that she had her moment. I'm glad that things kind of got rectified because I know that we all did have fun. But I know that there could have been some other things that should have come to fruition to make things.
Was that your first time meeting Sandy in person?
I believe it, yeah. If it's the right Sandy that I'm speaking with.
Sandy from San Diego, Sandy and Jerry. Yeah, no, she's a great friend of ours, and that cruise is like the biggest thing.
Yeah, listen. So it looks like and this is unbeknownst to us because all we saw was pictures with all these great Dolphin legends, and it does appear like there was something that it took a little time maybe for all of it to develop, but that just means that they got to come back and do it again next year or the year after that, and run it 100% the right way. But look, when you get all these Dolphin legends, Hall of Famers from the 70s, Super Bowl winning teams to current day players together on a boat with all these fans. I mean, nothing's going to go perfect, right? But I'm glad, as you said, that a lot of people got their moment with a lot of their idols and players that just loved watching over the years, and it seemed like it turned out and finished on a high note. On the high seat.
Absolutely. I mean, it absolutely did. And just some of these memories are just, they're lifelong, and friendships too, especially with our fan base that travels, that goes to games. We will see each other again, a lot of us, and it'll be a fun reunion.
Papa Paul said, I need Bo Camper's autograph. The Killer Bees were my favorite.
So awesome.
Fun stories about the Killer Bees, and hearing them talk about their teammates next to them, 5 seats down, and then just watching that person. See, if Kim was talking about AJ Due, I was watching AJ Due just sit there and almost be like uncomfortable that this man was talking about him because he really wanted to probably talk about Bob Baumhauer, and the feeling of mutual respect, which is the 2-word phrase Larry Zonka told me directly, is something that all these Dolphins have. And it's a really special alumni group.
I have a question. The rumor has it that Dan Marino left like halfway through the trip. Is that true?
And I'm going to defend the situation here. When I first found out about the trip, it was the last week of March. I couldn't go. I was heartbroken. My kids, that didn't coincide with any remote spring break day off, whatever. Then it was changed to the first week of April. So if Marino was locked up for the last week of March, and then there was the scheduling change, and then it coincided with another scheduled event that he did have, the difference in the change that I would have made was advertise that. So instead of us thinking that it was going to be a 7-day Marino cruise, probably would have been the best marketing pivot. And this is not a bad thing to say, due to situations out of our control, we have 34 Miami Dolphins, and for a bonus 48 hours, we got Dan Marino until the Bahamas. And that's what I would have done, and then I think we would have been cool with that.
Yes.
Yeah. 13 hours with Dan is good enough. Any hour with Dan is good enough. I mean, the guy is, to be in his presence, look, I've met him several times. I actually went to Canton, Ohio in 2005 when he was inducted. And the guy cannot, in his defense, he cannot go anywhere and be somewhere for 5 minutes before when word gets out, especially now, today's age, with you could tweet something out or put something on social media, the minute that people find out he's somewhere, the place is swarmed.
Yeah.
So 100%.
He is a man of precious moments, and so it's tough to balance that all out.
He's Elvis. He's the king. He's God. I mean,
Yeah.
I had a moment to potentially meet him Monday night. I turned it down thinking, now we have a whole week. But anyway, it wasn't the moment because I never met him as I met a couple of these other Dolphins this week. And I'm glad. The reason being because I feel like everything happens for a reason.
Right. This
one didn't happen. It's okay. But I watched him watch the NCAA championship for a commercial, and that was it.
Lisa and Charles, they were also on the cruise. I'm sure you met Lisa and Charles. They're also from California.
From California, yes.
Yep. Yeah. So they're in the chat. Hello. I saw their.
Oh, they were great. We were having some fun together. They were great people.
Sandy said first night I ran into him and Zonka at karaoke. Zonka is Sandy's everything. Like she would trade in everything, her partner, her dog, her lifestyle for Zonka. So when I'm sure when she saw Dan Marino and Zonka together, I would love them to fly on the wall. Michael said 2005, Lou, you were like 12.
Thank you, Michael.
The lies. I want to ask you, one of our buddies was also on the cruise, somebody who I adore so much, Richmond Webb. My guy. How's good old Richmond doing?
He's the best. I mean, he's such a good guy. Biggest heart in the world. We all celebrated Don Shula. We all celebrated Zach Thomas. I saw someone read Shula. We all celebrated Zach Thomas getting announced. Now it's time for Richmond Webb in the Hall of Fame. So sweet. Pictures with everybody. Autographs whenever asked. I mentioned that I was a part of that basketball competition. He was on the court too. Watching Richmond Webb take a layup and having him like literally almost hit his elbow on the rim was phenomenal. He's so close to the hoop. Great guy.
I wish he would have stayed in Miami because in Miami he could use him down there to get some rebounds. So it would have been nice if he would have stayed here.
If you're going to stay in Miami, let's have him coach that offensive line or suit up.
That too, that part as well. So.
Lisa and Charles said we had so much fun with Jason. It was great meeting you, Papa Paul. Love Webb. Lisa and Charles, Richmond was awesome. He's a giant. Oh, Richmond told me to say hi to you. Oh, we gotta get him back on the show soon.
Not only get him back on the show. So, Jason, we are. Did you finalize? Are you going to be in Canton for Zach Thomas's induction?
Yes.
Perfect.
Oh, good.
Great.
I spoke to the powers that be, and when the powers that be, it's the ticket holders and it's the powers that be, and we're going.
That's great. So we're going to have a good time out there, and part of the thing, we're going to definitely go there to celebrate Zach 100%. That's what we're going for. But while we're there, we are going to, get some rally towels. We talked about it up or something that say, congrats, Zach. And, Richmond is next or 78 belongs, or we're going to start some kind of a movement.
Right. He's saying,
well, hey, look, they don't want me to get out there with the microphone.
They don't want us Northeasterners getting crazy either out there,
Yeah, but no, we gotta put it out there while we're there. Take advantage and say, hey, this is awesome. And we're all excited to be here, but this guy is deserving, and he should be next, taking that having his Boston Ken.
And Sandy's going, and also Michael's going. It's all our friends going. This is going to be such an exciting trip. I cannot wait. Papa Paul can't make it that one, but we'll see you soon.
There's still time. I mean, again, we've said it numerous times.
We haven't even got our airfare yet, Lou.
Well, I know, but at least we got all these.
I'm driving. I'm going to be doing a 6.5 hour drive.
How long is it from you?
6.5 hours. Cake.
Peanuts.
Cake.
Yeah, but no, look, if you're out there and you're listening to this show live or going to check it out later, if you're thinking about it, now's the time because it will eventually, if it's not already, be sold out. So
1,000%.
Get on board.
We're super excited. So before we let you go, tell me your favorite. Okay, one thing we have to ask. If you didn't know by now, Lou and I hate eating. We never eat. We're skinny minis. Just kidding. We're foodies. I know. How was the food? I gotta ask it. Sandy loved it.
It was okay. It was okay.
All right.
It was okay.
So nothing crazy.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It was okay. It was a B. We'll give it a B.
Okay. All right.
How
about the facilities?
The ship.
The ship in and of itself, very high tech, very clean, very, very new in terms of just the way that, like, even their elevators were very freaky, high tech. But again, there was 3 entities, and I'm here to talk about one.
Got it.
And out of respect to my father, who was a once travel agent in his spare time, We'll stick to the one entity here.
Yeah, I've never been on a cruise before. Like Lou said, we're going on a cruise this summer, and usually people come to me like, "Oh, throw by sports, give me advice about travel." I know nothing about what I'm getting myself into.
Cruise wise, everything else is good at.
Yeah, I could plan a trip to Mars today, but when it comes to cruising, and the thing is, I get really, really, really bad motion sickness. So I'm a little. How was the boat? Was it bumpy? How was it?
You know what? No. My little guy, I was worried about seasickness. Never mentioned once. Very smooth.
What's up with this? Okay, so Sandy said the pizza was amazing. She enjoyed that.
That was pretty good.
Lisa and Charles said the Teppanyaki restaurant
Teppanyaki. We didn't try that. There were like 5 specialty restaurants that were not in the food package. My wife and I went to the steakhouse the last night. That was good. That was pretty good.
Perfect.
So
Tell me.
Specialty stuff was pretty good.
You have a question?
No, speaking of steakhouse, I got to say it.
Here goes food.
There is a Don Shula's American Kitchen in Canton, Ohio, just recently opened. So look it up. It just opened up like 3 weeks ago, right?
It opened, yeah.
So we are in
make reservations.
Yeah, we're gonna make reservations. We're gonna try to host something there. But how awesome is that going to be that it just opened and
that's perfect.
So we'll definitely spend a lot of time there. Yeah,
that'd be good. So before we let you go, I want to know, as a whole, if there's one moment that you can be like, this was the highlight of the trip. Like this is what was that big one moment?
I love the question. And I was kind of preparing if you did ask that question because I was trying to think what it is. There's a lot of them.
I bet.
There was a lot of them. I kind of have a tie, if I'm allowed.
Yeah, of course.
And I already referenced a couple of moments. One of them is a moment that I was hoping for, and one of them is a moment that just blew my mind. I did not know it was just massively weird, but great. The first one was meeting Larry Zonk. And it was an opportunity to have a couple of minutes with him. And it was emotional.
Yeah.
And other than Marino, growing up, I would see Zonka, American Gladiators. The 72 team was so prevalent in inside the NFL on HBO and Showtime with Nick Bonaconte, and even when Dan Marino. There was so much other than Sunday that I was immersed in. And Zonka was another guy that did it to me too. That just did it for me as, whatever. And I did a little fish tank thing with Larry Zonka, if you saw that a couple of years ago. But that was awesome. Secondarily was just a moment that I wanted to say hello to AJ Due because I thought it was a really cool opportunity to say hello to him. I saw him. It was right a night after Bo Camper said something really great about him being part of the Killer Bees. But D and B, he's a part of the Killer Bees, so I thought it was a really cool story. So I introduced myself, and before I kind of got through my name, he said, "Oh, you're a writer for Dolphin Wire. I read your stuff." And then he asked me about my last name, and no one really asked me about that or my heritage, because I have an interesting last name that was chopped off when my great grandfather came on over here from Romania. So I had a chance to kind of just find out a little bit more about my family through a question from AJ Due, who destroyed the hearts and hopes of Jet fans in 1982 when I was 1 year old.
AFC Championship game, 3 interceptions right in the mud in the Orange Bowl.
Exactly right. And I walked back to my cabin. My kids were with my wife, and I just said, wow. And it was just a moment. And it was pretty darn cool.
Got a question in the chat for you. Jason, did you ever meet Paul Warfield?
I have not, but a cool little Warfield story. I went to the draft in Cleveland. And as much as we love Paul Warfield, so does Cleveland.
Absolutely.
He is a legend in 2 franchises, and it could be fair to say that he is a Cleveland Brown Hall of Famer and a Miami Dolphin Hall of Famer.
Yep. He did great work for both franchises. So that's not often the case. But he's definitely one in that position for sure.
So you've been to Cleveland before. You've done that.
2 years ago, the draft, it was the Dolphins were there in full-fledged force, and Cleveland rocks. Cleveland's
I've
great.
never been. I've been to Columbus, Ohio, but we're doing Cleveland for a few days, then Canton, and then we're spending 2 or 3 days in Cincinnati because the Marlins actually play the Reds that Monday, Tuesday. So we're catching the Marlins game up there.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's
Enjoy it.
perfect. It works out so well. Michael said Cleveland never got him a ring. Shots
They've
fired.
never gotten a ring.
Mike knows. Mike's my guy. He's the best, Mike. Fantastic guy.
And Jason, were the guys also wearing their gold jackets and their aqua jackets, Super Bowl rings?
Aqua jackets, Super Bowl rings.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'll tell you what, there is nothing like watching all those guys in those aqua jackets mingle and then seeing them all in the jerseys.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool.
That's
real
really
cool.
Nice.
Wow. I really like seeing you did an excellent job documenting the trip. Like within the first few pictures and posts that you did, I was like, oh, we really made a mistake by not going.
Yeah.
But by hearing your stories and your testimonies and stuff like that, even though there are some ways, as you say, it still sounds like it was an amazing time. And I'm mad we didn't go.
Well, they're going to have to do it again, right? I mean,
Are they talking about doing it again?
is that how they
You know what? The Dolphins that organized it, kudos to Nat Moore. Kudos to his team that put it together. Every player that was on it was great. And I am sure in one way, shape, or form, there will be another Dolphins cruise. And I will do everything humanly possible to get on that next one.
Well, we're going to have to as well. Kirk just got in the house. Kirk's a huge Dolphins fan who lives towards the Ocala area from Jersey. Can you please tell the Panthers to get it together so that my Devils have something to play for? Jason, who's your hockey team?
Oh, man, I used to be an Islander fan growing up on Long Island, but I got a lot of energy expended on the Dolphins. I don't have anything left for other sports.
You know, and that's funny.
I enjoy some sports, but nothing like you guys.
When Jason and I were talking this week, he said, Ash, I don't know how you do it with, being so spread out with the Heat, the Marlins and stuff. Like that's why, like with the Heat right now, like we were going to have the show last night, but obviously we had to watch that game. It's a lot. A lot of people ask me that question when I go on shows and say, yeah, obviously my name could be like 305 Dolphins babe or whatever, but I am such a Heat, Marlins, Dolphins fan that it's like a trinity.
I need the time off. I need to de-stress.
No.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
What else got here? I was in Canton when Zonk and I walked in the Hall of Fame with Jim Kick, Unreal.
Wow.
Lisa and Howard, Crash Jensen let me wear his jacket. What?
Crash Jensen is from 15 minutes southwest of where I am right now in Abington, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And my young guy, Jordan, had a thumb wrestle contest with him.
Oh
and won.
That is great.
I think Crash let him win.
Eric in the house. Hey, everybody. Paul. I heard they're going to do another, so we'll be on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hockey and baseball get us to football. Hockey or baseball and basketball gets football. Hockey, Panthers, we're in the playoffs right now. We're losing 2-0 against Carolina, but we're waiting to see who our opponent is. Time for tattoos. I got one. I just can't show you where it's at. No, it's not that bad. Anyways, Jace, we talked to you enough. We're not going to bore you with our Miami Heat and Marlins talk.
I wish you the best of luck with them.
Thank you.
Do we
need the
that? Well, tomorrow's going to be a very stressful day, and but to everybody knows you, but some people maybe not new to the show or maybe
He's
not
a celebrity.
know you. I know he is, but still, we asked Richmond Webb to tell them where they can find him. So tell everybody where they can find you, get a hold of you, all that good stuff.
I appreciate you guys having me, Ash and Lou. This was a joy. You guys are fantastic. My antics are always on Twitter, Jason_Sarney, and I'm on Dolphins Wire with USA Today. So you can find me there as well.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on. You did an awesome job letting us know about the cruise. Thank you for sharing the ins and outs. And I'm really glad that you and your family had a great time. Because at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Yes, our Dolphins family, but for you to be able to share it with your wife and your sons, I'm sure that was truly something that you guys will remember forever. So, that was awesome to see.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you, Jason, for all you do. Number one, you're an amazing guy. And then what you do in terms of having the passion that you do for this team, covering the team, putting that all out there and getting everybody informed on all the ongoings of this team that we so adore and so passionately follow.
Adore. That's a nice way to put it.
we do. And it's not easy. Let's be real. It's easy to be a Chief fan or a Patriot fan, with all these recent success. It's tough. And we, to our credit, we stick to it. And it's because of guys like you that continue to keep us all in the loop and bring us together. So thank you for that.
I truly appreciate that, guys. It's been a joy.
All right. See you soon, hopefully.
Yes.
At least.
Can.
Like the latest.
Absolutely. Like the latest.
If not before, yes.
If anything goes down and it's I can get down there, always happy to get to
we
South
can get up to Jersey. We can go back to Jersey.
The weather's phenomenal today. It's 86.
Don't tempt me with a good time. We're 12 feet underwater here.
Yeah.
All right, Jace, we'll
Be
talk to you
safe.
soon.
Take
care.
Guys.
Okay.
That was
Oh
awesome.
gosh. Why did we go there? He's such a nice guy.
He's such a cool guy, and
he's from up north. That's why he's one of the
and he does a great job, putting everything that he puts out there on the team, and it was awesome to give his perspective on this amazing cruise.
So let's just get into it. They're already talking hockey. They're talking baseball.
Let's talk. Wait, hold on. Let's talk hockey because it's happening right now. I know. Kirk's saying apparently.
Eric, hold that thought.
Kirk's saying that his Devils need our help. And it doesn't look like we're getting him a lot of help right now. It's 2-0.
Here it is. Can you please tell the Panthers to get it together so my Devils have something to play for?
Right.
Face.
Yeah, it looks like we're not holding on to the bargain there. But it's plain and simple. You're mentioning what's happening. If we lose, we are going to have the most daunting task ahead of us because we would be playing
the number 1 seed Bruins.
The number 1 seed Bruins, who have broken records this year. They've scored the most points in NHL history, and they've also had the most wins in NHL history. And they could add to that tonight if they get their 65th win. But think about it. An 82-game schedule to have 65 wins, I mean, that's tremendous. Huge. So
I don't want to play them.
I don't think that they want to go that route, but it looks like that's where we're headed. Should they come back from this 2-0 deficit and win, they could possibly play those same Carolina Panthers or, I believe, the Rangers. I'm not sure if somebody's in the room that can help me out with that, but I think it's Rangers or Carolina Hurricanes.
Well, the Panthers fans are at the Panthers game. All their friends are there.
Yeah, it's either the Hurricanes or the Rangers. Should the Panthers come back and win tonight? And it's definitely the Bruins if they don't and they lose.
We know that much.
Let's see.
So hockey, yes. Baseball. Okay, today I was convinced. I'm like, today the Red Sox are gonna get the Rays their first loss. I said it yesterday, and then I'm like, but I'm like, today it's an early afternoon game. 13-0. So I told this to Lou yesterday. I said the Rays, what they're trying to do is they're trying to be the other 17-0 teams. They want to be 2 17-0 Florida teams. You guys get it? Dolphins 17-0, Rays 17-0. No, but shout out to the Rays. Their pitcher last night. What's his young guy?
Ty something. He was
like
making his
stud
debut. He's 22 years old, and he looked like a kid in a candy store. The reporter was asking him, "How's your major league debut?" And he's like starstruck. Looking at
you
the
said
lights.
something funny. You said, "Oh, there's names on the back of my jersey."
I thought he was like pretty much what he was saying was like, "Oh, I'm just glad I got a name in the back of my uniform in a locker room, and I got multiple uniforms, not just a gray one."
No.
So I mean,
the Rays are doing great. I mean, what an amazing start! Like that does not help my Red Sox at all. That just
Yeah, I don't know, Eric. Are they off tomorrow because their next it's Friday. They'll be playing tomorrow.
That's a game series. He looks so young.
They always play on Friday.
Eric, who do they play next series?
Tomorrow night they're going to have a chance to set the record because they tied it today, and they'll have a chance to break and set the record for most wins to start a season. Amazing.
Kirk said our Sox will get better when we get back Bello and Paxton. I don't know.
They look strong. They look a little weak out of the gate.
I'll meet you guys in Jersey. Let me know. And basketball, Brooklyn.
Well, look, a lot of people, Michael, no offense, are predicting the Sixers to sweep the Brooklyn Nets. But hey, I'm rooting for you guys.
Rays play at Toronto.
They do. Well, that'll be tough. That Toronto is a good team, but they've won
series,
so many games, starting 13-0, that they build up such a cushion. I believe the second place team right now is either Toronto or the Yankees, and they're 5 games out because of this start. So it's an amazing place to be in.
Sandy's going to Marlins game in August.
Oh, nice.
If you want a Marlins shirt, I'll send you one.
We will.
Just sending you. Maybe. No. So here's the thing. All right, I got to talk about the Heat. Okay, I got to run. Stay safe. Peace, love, fins up. Papa Paul, thanks for joining us tonight.
Well, let's stick with the baseball team so far. Let's talk about the Marlins. It's just coming off.
All right, because I'm steamed up right now about the Heat. But
the Marlins are coming off.
They played the Mets and they played the Phillies.
Yeah, but forget the Mets series. We didn't win that series, but we did win the Phillies series. We took 2 out of 3 in Philadelphia. Ironically enough, we lost. The one game that we lost was our best pitcher. So the fact that they came out and won 2 out of 3. They're now 1 game under 500, which a lot of us, with the way they started at 1-5, thought they may never get back to 500. And now with the Diamondbacks coming back into town, they're not a very star-studded team. So we have a chance to to win that series and be over 500. And then, of course, the biggest thing that took place so far this season is Luis Arraez hitting for a cycle, which, talk about being on a cruise. I kind of shared this story with you, and I'll tell them really quick. The Marlins have been playing for 30 years. They've had no hitters. They have 2 world championships. They've had an unbelievable amount of talent come through here, from Miguel Cabrera to Gary Sheffield to, I can go on and on. But I have always, because we're the only team that had not hit for a cycle. I would always go and check the box score. So I'm going back so far that it used to be a newspaper, and now it's, obviously online. But I would check, did it happen? Did it happen? Did a Marlin hit for a cycle? And for our friends out there who are in the room that don't know what that means, hitting for a cycle means that you do all 4
single, double, triple, home run.
Correct. That you get on base with a single, a double, a triple, and as you mentioned, a home run.
The hardest one's a triple.
It is, yes. The triple is the hardest one because it involves the ball being placed in a spot where the outfielder can't get to it, and then you as a runner got to do a lot of running around first, around second.
You ain't hitting no triples.
I'd have trouble getting to first base. Forget about third. In terms of baseball, let's be. Oh, sorry. Let's keep it clean.
My glasses. Are you guys going to Heat Game tomorrow? Absolutely, 1,000%. We were there on Tuesday, which we're going to get into in a little bit. But
let me finish with the.
We got questions going on.
It is a huge deal that Luis Arraez hit for this cycle. Finally got the monkey off his back for the franchise, and so that was awesome. And hopefully they can take that momentum and build on it this weekend with this homestand coming up against the Diamondbacks, and I believe the Cubs are coming in after them. So yeah, it should be fun.
If the Marlins are playing around the Finns preseason, we would love to come and meet you guys again, or maybe when the Sox are there. That would be amazing.
That'd be great. Absolutely.
Take you guys. Just don't get too excited about Little Depot Park. It's not like Fenway South.
It's a nice spot.
We went to Fenway South with Kirk, and we had a great time, and it's the same. Eric was actually at the Pelicans OKC game last night and was fun, even though the home team lost.
Man, Brandon Ingram, you were sleeping, but Brandon Ingram had some questionable. He missed a couple of free throws. He missed. He took a very questionable, even though he had that 3 at the end. But down the stretch, he took some questionable, shots in that crunch time. But look, the real story with the Pelicans there, and I know we went back and forth on this on Facebook. Zion, he can't stay healthy. I mean, this guy,
Simmons.
He's playing 25, 30 games a year of an 82-game season, and it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way too. Yeah. He was during pregame warmups. He's out there dunking, not just dunking, but doing windmills, and he can't shoot up for a winner-take-all playoff game. So I don't know.
That's crazy. All right, I gotta let baseball go, even though.
All right, let it go.
I'm still upset about.
Let it go,
Sandy.
Elsa. Let it go.
Let it go. No.
Oh.
But Sandy Alcantara just did not. Jesus Luzardo has been excellent. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the score. See
looking at the Ram.
See the Panthers scored another goal.
All right, here he goes with the Heat.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, so we are in the number 7 seed. I'm going to talk very calm. My voice is going to raise. I'm going to do this very slow. Ouch with the Sandy. Gotta run. Love you both. Fins up.
Take care, Sandy.
Mwah, love
Welcome back. I'm glad you had a great time.
And we love seeing you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so ouch with the Simmons reference, Ash. Well, okay, so I got to bring you guys back. All right, so Heat ended up our season with the 7th seed. If it wasn't for the play-in, we would not have been in the playoffs. So thank goodness for that.
Yeah, you can thank Adam Silver for that, for making this play-in tournament, even though we finished the regular season as the 7th seed. Ridiculous.
So 7th seed happens, and then we find out that it was like on Easter that we find out we're playing the Hawks. And the Hawks are not a scary team to me. Obviously, we know our boy Trae Young is great, but I'm not scared of the Hawks any day, home or away. So we go to the game on Tuesday, like regular. We're there. And as we're walking into the Kaseya Center, Lucy's one of his buddies, and I start talking to the guy, and we start talking about players and stuff. And I said, one player that I'm just fed up with is Kyle Lowry. And I said, if this man doesn't have the game of his life, I don't want to see him here next year. I'm telling you, Kyle had to hear my mouth, because what that man did on Tuesday was not only a great performance, probably the best performance of his whole entire career.
Hold on. He's won an NBA Finals. Let's calm down. Let's calm down.
His best performance
is the Miami Heat? Okay. Absolutely.
As a Heat player.
You can say it.
As a Heat player. I'm calm right now. Let me stay calm. Okay. So Kyle's been one player that's just been up and down, and, I'm trying to figure out. No. Do not rush me. I got to say what I have to say. So when I said Kyle better have the game of his life,
He did.
I'm glad he did. But I think that other players on the Heat didn't realize that they needed to play too because Kyle couldn't just do it himself.
Right.
So long story short, I'm going to cut it here. It was terrible. We were not aggressive in the paint. Bam Adebayo couldn't do things. Tyler had a decent game, but Jimmy just wasn't there. Victor, just things did not work, and we lost, and it was shocking. So
it wasn't. I mean,
it was shocking.
Look, we both went in there and we said, "Look, this is
30.
it's something that wasn't guaranteed. It's a one game. Anything could happen in one game."
Okay, the problem
and
is
the Heat have not been exactly playing like what they did last year. So anything could happen in the game. So I wouldn't say the term shocked. You could say upset. I'm still upset. I know you're very upset. And we got one game tomorrow that'll be do or die. But
so what was supposed to happen was we were supposed to win on Tuesday. We were supposed to be starting game 1 of this new series against the Celtics at 3:30 p.m. on ESPN in Boston. That didn't happen.
Right,
so we had to watch the game yesterday, Raptors versus Bulls. Raptors being home, Bulls came to Toronto. And Raptors looked like they were dominating the whole game. Bulls came back, ended up winning the game. And now we find out that we play the Bulls tomorrow night at 7 o'clock home here. And whoever wins that game will end up playing the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis on Sunday. So Heat win, they advance. And if they don't, then our season will be over tomorrow.
Yeah, look, and what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to obviously play with a tremendous sense of urgency because it's not – I don't want to say – they obviously didn't go out there with, oh, well, we got a game in our back pocket, a security, a safety net, if you want to say it that way. I didn't think they played that way, but now there really isn't a safety net. It's win or go home, and they're at home, and they should take care of business. They're going to have to come out more aggressive, and what you didn't mention was the rebounding. They were out-rebounded 62-39 by the Hawks.
Yeah.
That just can't happen. They were getting multiple looks, second, third opportunities at the basket. You can't allow that to happen. So,
Mark said you have the date, time, and network memorized. It's all I've been thinking about the last 4 days.
I-
Calvin totally just made me smile. If DeRozan's daughter screams while the Heat are shooting free throws, go dump a cup of beer on her head and I will push your bail. I'm happy to share with you that she actually will not be coming to this game. He said that she missed school, so she won't be coming to that game.
Well, funny about that. So DeMar DeRozan played in Toronto.
Panthers just scored, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
All right. Oh,
Kirk-
we got to
Kirk let us know.
hit the horn. Hit the horn. So DeMar DeRozan played in Toronto, and his daughter has stayed there. So that's why she has to go to school, and she can't come down.
She can't miss
Which
school.
also, I got to tell you, I have not heard screaming like that little girl since the last time I heard that kind of screaming?
I don't know what's going
Mariah Carey's debut album.
That was so cheesy.
That's not
No one
cheesy.
even laughed. No
That's
one
not-
even laughed.
well,
No one even laughed.
They're in the room. They're
If
not
there's
in
any
the room.
Raptors fans, they're not laughing either.
Listen, that was some
So,
screaming. That's all I'll say.
She will not be coming down to Miami. So we play tomorrow again. I'll tell you who I am worried about, who really turned up in the second half, was Caruso. Caruso needs to be stopped. We're going to have to stop Caruso. Caruso was a problem yesterday for the
I'm not
Bulls.
worried about Caruso.
Who are you worried about?
Well, I'm worried about
Who you worried
Zach
about?
LaVine and obviously DeMar DeRozan and a guy that I would love to be in the Miami Heat, Nikola Vucic. I mean, he is a tremendous player. He shoots. He's got the size. He could rebound. I would love him to be in Miami Heat. I don't know when his contract's up, but I'd love to sign him.
So, guys, I obviously, it needed to be talked about. It worked. They missed half their free throws. No, it absolutely did. So tomorrow's a big game.
Yeah.
Worry about Liv. Yeah, he's a problem.
He is. He had a great game last night.
But no, Caruso's really good too. Lou and I will be at the game tomorrow. It's a 7 o'clock start. It's a little earlier than we would have liked, but that's how the cookie crumbles. Hopefully it's not raining. And we will be there and do or die, right? I mean, as you guys can see, I'm very uncomfortable right now talking about it because I'm nervous. I'm not ready for
There's nothing to be nervous. We're going to win. Relax.
I'm not ready for my season.
All right.
You know what
You're
I mean?
still upset about what happened
I am.
on Tuesday night, as am I, but that's now over. We know who our opponent is. It's tomorrow night. We'll get there and we're going to win. And, we'll be playing the Bucks on Sunday. Next week's show, we'll be breaking down the first 2 games of that Bucks series. Guarantee it.
Devils scored 2. So, yeah,
All right.
who's this? Yeah, the perfect match. We all need to get to it. I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, tell me about it. I know. Ashley, no thermonuclear meltdown. Unimpressed.
Yeah, she kept it together.
I kept it together, but this is like a depression mode, right? Because I'm just, I'll look for you guys on TV.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Hopefully we're celebrating a win. I think we will. I think we got it in the bag. The Bulls and Heat have had some great rivalries over the years. And so, one more, right? A lot riding on the line here, and it should be a good one. I'm excited to go tomorrow night.
Yeah, and if that wasn't happening, we would have been at the Marlins game because tomorrow night is actually one of my favorite nights of the whole entire year. It's Italian night, Italian Heritage Night. So I have to miss the heritage of myself because the Heat didn't win. So I'm upset about that. But we'll probably be there on Saturday, which is something going on with Saturday.
Yep,
Beer
and then
Fest.
also it's teal. It's Flashback Friday, which they're going to wear their teal uniform. So Kirk, if you do come down late before Dolphin game, the game that catches a Friday game because they're wearing their throwback teal jerseys, which we love. Also tomorrow they are going to be unveiling the Marlins Museum, which is going to have a whole bunch of stuff from the first inaugural season and more. And they're also going to open up. I don't know if you caught this. My brother sent the email out.
At 4 o'clock.
They are going to open up. They're going to open up Junior's Bar, which I don't know about this.
But we were there last time.
Excuse me. Hold on. No, we didn't go in there.
In the back.
It wasn't open yet.
Oh.
So Junior's Bar, the JR. I didn't know this, but the email stated it, and maybe some of our Dolphin friends out in the room can research this. There was apparently a Junior's Bar in the Joe Robbie Stadium, the original layout of the stadium for the Dolphins. So they brought that back. I'm hoping that it's going to be the same kind of a setup and a similar furniture and stuff like that. But it's being advertised as being the just like at the old stadium, the old Joe Robbie Stadium. So that'll be pretty cool.
That's cool. Michael, let us know. Heat are favored by 5.5.
I don't like to look at that. We were favored by 4.5 against the Hawks, and that didn't work out. So.
Anyways. All right, guys. Well, it has been a fun night. Thank you again to Jason for coming on the show. So excited to hear,
Awesome.
We're really happy on the cruise. Again, I'm really mad we didn't go, especially, now hearing all that stuff. But hopefully they do one in the future. I'm glad that everyone had a great time. It was awesome seeing everybody on the chat tonight. Panthers in the playoffs. Marlins are not doing terrible. And we know it's going to all the Heat. So
yeah, and we got the draft coming up. The Dolphins aren't obviously involved heavily because we only
Panthers just tied it. We got a game to watch.
Nice. The Dolphins are going to be heavily involved. Nice, Kurt. Thank you. You're updating us.
I can see a little bit on the corner.
But yeah, so the Dolphins don't have a draft pick in the first round. They only have 4 altogether in the draft. But hey, maybe they make a move, or if very important, at least address the needs that they need to do. And like we mentioned, our good friend Mark is going to be reporting live from the draft. So we're going to get
great show, kids. Love you guys. Have fun tomorrow. Can you cheer for the Heat tomorrow? I know you're a Nets fan, but maybe just
good. I'm rooting for the Nets, baby. So root for our Heat. We'll root for you guys.
Oh, I want to show them something, guys. Okay, so this is how I'm going to end the show. Please don't move. Just stay here. I have a storage unit that I'm getting rid of. I just have too much stuff. I'm downsizing, blah, 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 blah. And when I was a little girl, I used to collect baseball cards, basketball cards. And yesterday I came across a card that I've had since I was 11 or 12 years old. And I looked up the value of it, and it's worth thousands of dollars. And probably at least $50,000. And I'm going to get it truly appraised, but I want to show, I want to show you guys the actual card. So stay here for 1 second.
All right. Well, while she's doing that, the Panthers, as Kirk just updated us, tied the game.
Okay,
and so it's 2-2.
All right, did we lose? No, everyone's still in the chat. Okay, so this card, it's one of the kind. No other card of this. Why are you laughing?
I can't believe you're going to show this on the air.
I don't care. This card, no one else has.
You're going to want to see this.
It's. Any other replicas are fake. This is the real one. And it's from. Let me tell you the year. 2001. So how old is it?
That would be 22 years. 22
no,
years.
No, not 20.
2001 is 22 years. Yeah, you're old. Newsflash, you're old.
All right, so this card.
Look, who's that? That's
South Plainfield Recreation.
What team were you playing on?
I played this. I don't see anybody in the chat. Maybe it froze. South Plainfield, New Jersey, 76ers. Your girl. That's me.
Look at
That's
those,
me.
Look at those braids. Look at that 76. Look at the glasses. Nice.
So this was my trading card when I played basketball. I played basketball for 14 years. It was my everything. And this was my trading card. So highest bidder. Do I have $100? $100, $100, 200. Do I see 200? This was me when I was 11 years old, 12 years old. Okay, Jersey girl, I love you. They're all laughing at me. I know. So in high school for my superlative, I won the most change. Granted, but that was me. That's me. So, oh my gosh. Well, I had glasses since I was a little kid. I love you, Ash. I love you more. Okay, Jersey girl. So highest bidder, we will raffle this. We'll raffle this off next show. The highest bidder can have the card, and it has the back and everything. My position, I was center. My coach, my favorite player at the time was Allen Iverson. So yeah,
it can be yours. Absolutely,
can be yours to send it to TMZ. $150. All right, guys, we got this Panthers game to watch. They're coming back. So, anyways, it's been awesome. Go Heat, go Panthers, go Marlins. What are you doing?
Panther goal.
You were a center. I was a center. I was tall at one point. Okay, I have something to say. Yes, I was a center. I've literally been the same height since I was 9 years old. I had a growth spurt at 9, and I haven't grew. I grew this way. I'm wider, but I've literally been 5'6", 5'7" since I was 9 years old. So then when I got to high school, they're like, "You can't be center. You're 5'6". Like, what do you mean? So then I had to relearn the game as a power forward. So that's my story. Nice. All right, guys. Good night. That's it.
That's it.
I know. I don't want to leave them. I don't want to watch hockey. All right. Good night, guys. We'll see. Okay, next week the show might be on Wednesday because hopefully Wednesday might.
We'll figure it out. Let's not talk about it.
Good night.
We'll keep you posted.
Bye.
Everybody out there,